language.
Morning. Is Vaughan in his office? Yeah, he should be. Dumpy, you forgot the invitations again.
Did I?
You still haven't told him, have you?
He's got a bit of a hangover today. I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Well, there's always some excuse. All the other invites went out weeks ago.
I'll do it today, I promise.
Well, you better.
Hey, Briony. I thought it was you.
Hello. Oh, we've got something for you.
Oh, for me? Thank you. Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Booth request the pleasure of your company at the marriage of their daughter, Briony Arabella, to Mr. Vaughan Neville. Oh, congratulations. I'm so happy for you both.
Look, I've got to run. I'll see you later. Now, you know what to do with those.
Bye, Fluffy.
Bye, Maggie.
Bye. Vaughan, why didn't you tell me?
Maggie, I've been dying to, but I didn't dare say anything in case Bob found out.
Why shouldn't he find out?
There was a pre-nuptial agreement. Briony only agreed to marry me on the understanding that Bob wasn't best man.
Seems entirely reasonable to me.
Yeah, but you know what he's like. Can't bear it if he's not centre of attention. Oh, God, I'm dreading telling him.
I'll tell him.
Thank you, but it's got to be me.
What are you two yakking about?
Actually, Bob, we were discussing weddings, weren't we, Vaughan?
Oh, God, I hate weddings. Spending your Saturday afternoon freezing your bollocks off in some drafty old church, sat next to Grandad, who'd be lucky to make it to reception before they haul him back down the aisle in a box. And everybody's suddenly so religious, aren't they? Bellowing out all things bright and beautiful. I tell you, if he was bright and she was beautiful, he'd have notched her up on his bedpost and moved on to the next little thing.
I take it you're not a traditionalist then, Bob?
Well, I mean, if two people feel the need to declare their love before the eyes of God, why don't they just have a quick squelch in the vestry, for God's sake?
Well, where would you advise people to get married, then?
Well, one of those beach weddings in the Caribbean. That way, if you lift up the veil and realise you don't want to marry the old haddock, you can toss her back in the sea and go fishing for another one.
I know this doesn't apply to you, Bob, but what about people who have family and friends?
You can hire parents out there for 20p a day. In fact, you can get the whole extended family for under a fiver.
There goes the last of the great romantics.
Bob, can I have a word?
Oh, if you must, Vaughan, but do it quietly, please, because I'm trying to get back to sleep.
So I take it you're against the whole principle of marriage?
Well, I suppose it works for some people, Vaughan, if they can't get laid any other way.
Right, absolutely. Because what I want to
But
say
you wouldn't
to
want to marry that frumpy lump you're hanging around with, would you?
As a matter of fact, Bob, what
I mean, the idea of spending the rest of your life with that does not bear thinking about.
No, but to be honest...
Plus, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, Vaughan, but you're well below average in the looks department. I mean, a guy like you would have to marry Claudia Schiffer for your offspring to stand any chance whatsoever. Now, hang on a minute. You don't want to father a couple of paper bag jobs, do you?
Have you quite finished?
Yes, I think I have. So, what did you want to say to me?
Absolutely bloody nothing. Jesus.
God, you look dreadful.
You got any aspirin?
Sorry, I don't have any.
I'll get some off Maggie. She's a headache kind of girl.
What are you doing?
Not that it's any business of yours, Maggie, but I'm looking for an aspirin.
In my handbag.
Well, that's where you keep them, isn't it? Oh, what's this?
Nothing. Put it back!
Do I detect a note of panic in your voice there, Maggie?
Actually, no.
Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Booth request the vote. Vaughan's getting married?
Yep.
I don't believe it. I was just talking to him about marriage this morning. He never mentioned anything.
Perhaps you're not invited.
Don't be ridiculous, Maggie.
Well, have you received an invitation?
No, but you don't send an invitation to the best man. I mean, it's his day, really. Especially Vaughan and Briony's wedding, I'll be the main attraction. Top of the bill. I'll be putting bums on pews, mate.
So now you assume you're the best man?
Of course I'm the best man. I'm his closest friend.
Don't bank on it.
You're just bitter, because while I'll be schmoozing with the parents on the top table, you'll be sat over by the bogs with the video man.
Here's Vaughan now. You can check the seating arrangements with him for yourself.
Vaughanie, I don't know whether to hug you or shoot you. Come here, mate.
So you know, then?
I do, as they say. Anything you want to talk to me about?
Yeah, there really is, Bob.
I thought so. Shall we adjourn into my office? Oh, poor old Maggie. The only aisle you're going to be walking down is the cake and biscuit section in Tesco's.
Ah, there you are, Vaughan.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Have you heard the good news?
I have indeed. I got my invitation this morning. Congratulations, young man.
Thank you, sir.
And do we know who the best man is?
We do, sir. It is I.
Bob, there was something I wanted
Of course it is. No surprises there, eh, Bob?
I do hope you can join us for the stag night, sir.
Oh, yes. Count me in. There's nothing I like better than a good stag night. I trust there'll be plenty of 69 on the dinner table. And I'm not talking about the claret. Bob, a word of advice on the wedding speech. Always open with a gag. It helps put people at their ease.
Well, I'll make a note of that, sir. Thank you.
Now, here's one you can rely on, Bob. What is the difference between the bride and a border collie?
Well, in this case, sir, not a great deal. I'm sorry, sir. What is the difference between the bride and the border collie?
A border collie comes when you whistle.
Wonderful. Permission to use it, sir.
Granted. Well done, Bonnie. As you were.
Hey, cheer up. Briony is going to look stunning. With the veil down. I don't believe this. This is supposed to be the happiest time of my life. I know a lot of us enjoyed the moose, but it's nice to see her finally settling down. What do you want, Maggie?
So you're writing your speech, then? No doubt it's full of smut.
No, it isn't. How do you spell anal wart? Is it O-R-T or A-R-T?
A-R-T, you moron.
Oh, before you go off, syphilis. 1 F or 2?
Just the one. F off.
Is it my imagination, or is Bob actually doing some work in there?
No, he's just writing his best man speech. Can't wait to see his face when he finds out it's not him.
I'll tell you what, weddings are a great place to pull, you know. And if you get someone tasty, you can always nip behind the marquee for a quick knee trembler.
Julia!
Well, one of my first shags was at a wedding.
Really?
Yeah, it's my mum's wedding too.
Excuse me, is Vaughan around?
Yes. Who should I say wants him?
Jeremy Harris. I'm a friend of his. We're having lunch together.
Okay, I'll tell him you're here.
Actually, Julia, I can tell him. I'm heading that way.
It's very kind.
My pleasure. Excuse me, Vaughan. Got a friend here to see you. A Jeremy.
Oh, thank you, Maggie.
He's very sexy.
Is he?
Is he married?
No.
Yes! You take your time. I'll keep him company.
Did I hear correctly, Vaughan? You have a friend?
Yeah, I've known Jeremy since childhood. We went to school together.
Fantastic. I can pump him for juicy stories about your adolescence. Idea for speech. Vaughan swaps his 2 favourite conkers for a sniff of Jeremy's sister's knickers. Hello there, Jeremy. Bob Slade, Vaughan's best friend.
Oh, pleased to meet you.
Jeremy.
Briony, how are you bearing up, mate?
Oh, okay, you know.
Good.
I take it you've heard the good news?
Oh, I've heard of precious little else, but then I am the best man.
I don't think you'll find you are, mate. Tell him, Bob.
Well, Vaughan asked me a month ago, and I was honoured to accept.
Sorry, Jeremy, you're making a real twat out of yourself here, mate. Excuse me? Tell him, Vaughan. Vaughan, tell him. Will you excuse us for a moment? In my office, now. Vaughan, why are you trying to embarrass me in front of your friend?
Bob, I'm sorry. I never intended for you to find out this way.
Find out? What? You mean it isn't me?
No, Bob, it never was. You just jumped to that conclusion.
Oh, you could have bloody corrected me. I don't believe it.
Bob, be reasonable. How could I have chosen you? You hold everything that the occasion stands for in contempt. The sanctity of church, the institution of marriage, my bride.
What's that got to do with it? I'm your best friend, Vaughan.
I'm sorry it had to be this way.
Excuse me, Vaughan. Jeremy's just invited me to join you for lunch. Is that okay?
Yeah, whatever.
He's gorgeous. Where have you been hiding him?
He's one of my oldest friends.
What do you mean, one of? How many bloody friends have you got, Vaughan?
I don't know. I've never counted them. Look, Bob, why don't you come for lunch with us all? It'd mean a lot to me.
I'd rather eat my own excrement, Vaughan.
I'll get you a plate.
What's that?
It's your invitation.
Keep it, Vaughan. I will not be your second best man.
Bob, please.
Stuff your bloody wedding, Judas.
Bob,
Well, there's still time to change your mind.
I'm sorry, Bob.
Vaughan, you walk through that door now. Don't ever bother coming back.
So come on, what happened?
We've got a date.
No. You don't waste any time, do you?
He's taking me for a drink tomorrow night. He is so cute.
So what does he do?
Oh, he gave me his card. He's a commodities broker.
Wanker.
Just ignore him, Julia. He's just bitter about having to play second fiddle to Jeremy.
Well, you might be in luck, actually, Maggie. Seeing as he's a commodities broker, I'm sure he'll be into pork bellies.
Mr. Silverstein to see you.
Thank you, Harriet. Send him in, please.
Ben Silverstein.
Jeremy Harris.
Good to meet you.
So, what can I do for you?
It's not what you can do for me, Jeremy. It's what I can do for you. Are you aware of Silverstein, Edelman?
Can't say that I am, actually.
Good. Because we pride ourselves on our confidentiality. That's why we're the most successful financial recruitment agency on the East Coast. Now, what do you think about that?
Sounds pretty impressive.
I've been monitoring your progress on behalf of my clients for quite some time now. Let me tell you, they really like what they see, Jeremy. In fact, they want you to head their Manhattan operation.
That's very flattering.
The package is $2 million basic, plus a big bad bonus.
$2 million.
Tell me, Jeremy, you like pussy? Yeah, you like pussy?
Girls, you mean?
I mean, tabby cats, what are you, a putz?
Of course, yes, I do like them.
Good, because you and me are going to be the only straight guys left in Manhattan. And I got to tell you something, Jeremy, I am boned out.
Sounds all right.
You're going to be munching on more star-spangled beaver than you ever dreamed of.
So, let's say I am interested. What next?
Right, we fly you over for an interview in New York City. It's a mere formality, because if I say you're the man for the job, you're the man for the goddamn job.
So, when would this happen?
Okay. We would need to see you in New York City on the 27th of this month.
The 27th?
Well, you got a problem with that?
No, it's just that I've got a prior social engagement on the 27th.
Excuse me? Hello? Knock, knock. Is anybody there? I'm offering you the opportunity of a lifetime, and you're telling me you've been invited to some goddamn Britain Tea Party?
No.
I'm wasting my time.
It's more than that. My friend's getting married on that day, and I'm the best man.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I see what you're doing. I can read you like a brochure, Jeremy. You're playing hardball, and I like that. So here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to persuade my clients to throw in a beach house in the Bahamas. What do you say?
Obviously, I'm sorely tempted.
Do we have a goddamn deal here on that, Jeremy?
Yes, I guess we do.
Friggin' A, man. Game on.
Cool.
Start spreading the news. He's leaving today. Good morning, Maggie, my little cup of bromide. So, how's your date with the banker, wanker? Don't tell me. You showed him your assets and his interest rate went right down.
It was wonderful. We just talked and talked all evening.
Oh, I don't blame him. Anything rather than shag you.
He was wrestling with a dilemma.
A gorilla, more like.
He's been offered the most amazing job in New York. Only he has to fly over the weekend of Vaughan's wedding.
Oh, no. Well, I'm sure he'll send you a postcard, Maggie.
He's not going.
What?
He's decided to put his friendship with Vaughan first.
Don't be ridiculous, Maggie.
And as I pointed out to him, if he's been offered one job like this, he'll obviously be offered another one.
I very much doubt that.
If I'm the girlfriend of the best man, does that make me best girl?
No, Maggie. It makes you a wankette.
Enter. Ah, the happy couple. In you both come. So, the big day approaches, eh?
Yes, not long now, Mr. Bentley.
When you accepted Vaughan's proposal of marriage, you not only agreed to wed the man, but the corporation as well. You are set to become a gatehouse wife with all that entails.
Well, I will always do my best to support Vaughan in any way that I can.
I'm sure you will, my dear. But remember, you are a long-time wed, and the first flush of excitement doesn't last forever. A marriage requires work to keep it vital.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mrs. Marketing Director and I have a number of routines that we find useful. For example, Briony, might I suggest that once a week you forsake the dinner plates and eat off each other?
I'm sorry.
There's nothing quite like a lemon syllabub served from the armpit.
Right, yes.
And I'm rather partial to banoffee pie between the buttocks.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
And you, Vaughan,
Yes, sir.
on a Wednesday, you might like to dress as a woman.
Okay.
There's nothing a girl likes more than seeing her man bulging out of her undergarments, eh, Briony?
Well, I've never really...
So I hope our little chat has been of some help. And please remember that if ever you need advice, you can call on me any time.
Thank you very much indeed, sir.
Although do please bear in mind that Friday evening is submission night, and I tend to be a little bit irritable when wearing my nipple clamps.
So, how was it?
It was bloody weird.
Yeah.
Although he did have a couple of fun ideas.
Did he? Which ones?
I'll tell you later.
Oh, Bob, I was going to ask you...
How is the wounded animal? Is he still refusing to talk to you?
It's been nearly a week now.
He's very depressed. It's marvelous. I love it like this.
Maggie, look, I know he's being a complete prat, but it really upsets me to see him like this.
I'm sorry.
To be honest, it's beginning to mar the whole thing for me.
Cheer up, Dumpy. It's Wednesday today. I'll look out a nice pair of frillies for you.
Isn't it about time you stopped this pathetic display? I mean, you seem to think that this wedding is all about you.
I don't know what you're talking about, Maggie.
You can't bear to take a back seat even for one day, can you?
I'm one of nature's drivers, I'm afraid.
You're acting like a jilted lover. I mean, how could Vaughan have chosen you? He had Briony's feelings to consider. You've never had one good word to say about the woman.
Well, he should have been man enough to make up his own mind, shouldn't he?
You can't behave like this. You know that he loves you and that you love him.
Don't be revolting, Maggie.
It's true. In fact, I realize now that you're hurting so much because he's probably the only real friend you've got.
Excuse me, Maggie. I've got hundreds of friends, thank you very much.
No, Bob, you've got hundreds of acquaintances. There's a big difference, okay? I mean, you're not very good at friends. Look at us. I know that deep down you're quite fond of me, but you don't have any way of showing it.
Well, I suppose you're right. Now piss off, will you?
Bob, will you do the right thing for once in your life? Will you just swallow your pride instead of ruining one of the most precious moments of your best friend's life?
What am I supposed to do about it?
I know for a fact that Jeremy and Vaughan are going out for a drink tonight. Why don't you go with them?
I can't go with them, Maggie.
Sure you can. There. Now you piss off.
Cheers. 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 Come on then, Briony. Where are you whisking her off on your honeymoon then?
Oh, no. Sorry, it's a bit of a secret, actually.
Well, you can tell us. We're your best mates.
All right. But you got to promise not to breathe a word, all right? We're going to the Seychelles.
You lucky sod.
Hope I'm all right, actually. I'm not very good in the sun, to be honest.
We won't be in the sun, will you, if you're lying next to Briony?
Yeah, all right, yeah. Hey, good to have you back to your old self, Bob.
I'll get some more fizz.
No. All right, I'll get that.
So old Briony, eh? He's certainly got his money's worth there, hasn't he?
Well, she's not as straight-laced as she appears, you know. See her when she lets her hair down.
Well, takes a cardigan off.
Don't underestimate her, Bob. She can be a wild one.
What, Vaughan told you this, did he?
Didn't have to.
What, you've had first-hand experience?
No, I'm just saying she's all right, that's all.
You've shagged her, haven't you?
What makes you think that?
You have. You've shagged Briony. Oh, mate.
It was a mistake. We were drunk, you know. We both felt really bad about it in the morning, you know.
Oh, so that's all right then, is it?
Look, it happened when they had the little split a couple of months ago. How was I supposed to know we were going to get back together? To be honest, I've been trying to find the right moment to tell him, you know.
What, you've been trying to find the right moment to tell him you've been rogering his missus?
Well, he's my oldest friend. Don't want this hanging over us for the rest of our lives.
Leave it hanging.
Yeah, what if Briony tells him?
Trust me, she won't.
Here you go, guys. More bubbles.
Yeah, well, I still feel like...
A toast, Briony.
A toast to my beautiful bride.
Briony.
Briony.
Briony said you were having a fitting.
I'm surprised he could even speak after the state he was in last night. I can tell you're back on the scene.
Yes.
So what do you want?
I want what's best for everyone, Briony.
I doubt it.
I had an interesting little chat with Jeremy last night.
So?
Well, I understand he was very supportive when you and Vaughan had that little blip a few months ago.
Yes, he was a very good friend to us both.
Yes, but I gather he was a much better friend to you than he was to Vaughan.
What are you implying?
Far be it for me to stand in judgment. I always make a point of sleeping with my girlfriend's friends. But the difference is, I don't go on to marry them.
I know this looks terrible, but I'm begging you, Bob, please don't tell Vaughan.
Of course I'm not going to tell Vaughan. I'm his friend. It would kill him. But unfortunately, the same can't be said about dear Jeremy. 2 shandies and the man's a walking confessional.
Such a fool! Oh, God, what the hell am I going to do?
Come here. Shh. Now, if it were me, I'd go for some damage limitation.
What do you mean?
Well, if the cat ever does get out of the bag, it'll be a hell of a lot better for everyone concerned if he isn't grinning like a Cheshire in all the wedding photos.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
And if it's any help, I would be prepared to offer my services as replacement best man.
Oh, I see.
On the strict understanding that you promise not to shag me before the bed.
Yes.
Jeremy's here.
Jeremy?
Yeah, he's in with Vaughan now.
He didn't mention to me he was coming in. I wonder what he's doing here.
I don't know, but it all looks very serious. Perhaps he's asking Vaughan for your hand in marriage.
I hope he says yes. We could make it a double wedding.
Hi, Maggie. Listen, I'm afraid you may be a bit disappointed with me.
Disappointed? Why?
Well, I've just told Vaughan about the job I've been offered in New York. Maggie, I've decided to take it.
What? What about the wedding?
Well, I'm going to have to miss it. Vaughan's been fantastically understanding, you know.
Oh.
Hey, Jezza. I couldn't help overhearing. I'm sure you've made the right decision. Don't worry about the big guy in there. Me and Maggie will look after him, won't we? Oh, look. There's the blushing bride. Hello, Briony.
Bob.
Hi, Briony.
Jeremy. Maggie. Excuse me.
Isn't Vaughan lucky to have a girl like Briony? Have you ever had a girl like Briony?
Ah, there you are, Bob. My diary's filling up. I need to know the date of that stag night.
Righto, sir. I'll go and check it with Vaughan right now.
Righto.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. The marketing director's asked me about the stag night. I've just heard that Jeremy's pulled out and, well, I don't know what to say.
Bob, I was wondering if you'd do me the honour of being my best man.
Not really sure. What do you think, Briony?
Okay. Yes. Please.
Yeah, all right.
Bob, I'm a busy man. You sorted that date, aren't you?
Yes, I have, sir.
Good. But when the hell is it?
Well, I'd like you to book the full 4-day weekend commencing on Friday the 19th. I've already put the cities of Prague and Budapest on full red alert.
Sounds promising.
But Dumpy, I thought you'd already booked the upstairs room at the Fox and Hounds.
Leave it to the professionals, my dear.
Now, there will inevitably be arrests, sir, so I've arranged for one of the company lawyers to be on 24-hour call to deal with deportation formalities.
Excellent. A full support team is essential.
I've also booked an air ambulance, sir, so that when Vaughan finally does regain consciousness, we spare him the trauma of waking in a local hospital.
You see, Briony, my dear, your future husband couldn't be in a safer pair of hands. Go get 'em, Bob!
Yes, sir! Look, it's such a shame you're going to miss the wedding, Jeremy.
Yes, it is, Bob. But I'll just have to console myself with a salary of $2 million a year, won't I?
Jeremy's just offered to fly me over to stay with him in his Manhattan apartment. I've never been to America.
Oh, that's very generous of you, Jeremy.
Well, obviously, money's no object now.
No, I realise that. It's just that, well, I would have thought you had enough on your plate as it was.
How do you mean?
Well, you know,
Munching on all that star-spangled beaver.
if you know what I mean.
Next on 9, Larry David stars in the comedy Curb Your Enthusiasm. Crime doesn't take a holiday, not with Young Lions, in a special 2-hour presentation, 9:30 Wednesday.